All right, are we ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, so hi everyone. Thank you so much for coming out. This is Jen right here. I'm from the Healthy Hub Massage and Wellness, and I'm so excited for the Sugar Detox. So welcome. Just being here today is a win. Just learning about this information, and whether you're all in already or you're just deciding, it's just great that you're out here. Okay, a little bit about my sugar story. Some of you may have heard and some of you may have not, but this started about 7 or 6 years ago, 2011. A friend of mine convinced me to see this naturopathic doctor about my chronic back pain. And I was game, I did, and he put me on the AKA Sugar Detox. And at that time, I couldn't see the correlation of my back pain and what was going on maybe with my diet, and I always assumed I ate pretty healthy. Like, by anybody's standard, they would have been like, wow, you eat really healthy. But again, I'm all into trying new things, so I did, and the results were amazing. 3 days later, I felt the difference. I've always been diagnosed and treated and medicated for ADD, ADHD, and although I never believed in that diagnosis, I was able to feel the mental clarity 3 days later, which was huge. After that, I was like just amazed with my own mental capabilities, that I could focus, that I could be the person that I was designed to be. So my back pain did actually subside. I did about 2 months of body work, and it's now today completely controlled by diet. Beforehand, I mean, I couldn't even pick something out of the ground, and I'm a massage therapist. So I thought it was something that I had to live with. And I was just enthused and curious how just changing my diet in a certain way could affect me so differently mentally and physically. So I kept researching and digging in and getting excited. And the more I learned, the more I thought I had to share. I felt a responsibility. It was like, everyone should know this. And so I invited Dr. Weeks to do a presentation. It was Diet for Disease Prevention. And I held some cooking classes. And then that led me to lead group detoxes. And every time I led the group detoxes, the results were great. Everyone got something out of it, and it was just inspiring and exciting to be a part of. I put here Sugar Detox Continued because it's been a few years since I originally did the detox, but it just keeps getting better because it really is about giving to yourself and nurturing yourself on a whole level. That, you know, it kept continuing where I was following this path of, diet and nutrition and passion and sugar detox. And I had to eventually let go of the things that weren't serving me anymore in my life. Relationships, habits, things that were no longer, I felt like a part of me, because the part of me was now beginning into something else. And when I, was giving into more of myself, I created the Healthy Hub, my business. And I met the love of my life, and I mean, just everything in life just started getting better and better. So I just had to add that because it really is a continuum. Okay. And I mentioned this before, but why I chose this sugar detox to present to the public and people, because I can talk to you guys until I'm blue in the face, maybe you guys are red in the ears, about nutrition, what it's doing, this, that, but when you guys actually experience and feel the difference, that's when the long-lasting change begins. And with this 10 days, I believe that it really unlifts veils so that you can see different glimpses of, how my body does feel without this, which is huge. And I've also seen the most transformation. I've seen people, just go with this lifestyle and run and reverse their diabetes. I've seen people make complete lifestyle changes. And I've mentioned before, I've seen people learn new recipes, look at labels, incorporate more whole foods into their diet, which all of it is wins. And I truly believe this. Not only does this information have the potential to improve and save lives, or extend lives, but it has the potential to save lives. And everyone gets something out of it. So why do it? Why do I want to let go of my comfort? My cookies, my beer, my, whatever, fill in the blank. Well, one of the biggest reasons that I've seen people really connect with is conscious eating. Now, what does that mean? It means actually sitting down, knowing what your food, what kind of properties it has, and how it's going to affect you on a physiological, mental, all of the different levels that encompass us, and making a decision whether to eat or to not. We live in this world where we get so busy and we're go, 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 and maybe there's some food that you just grab on the go when you put in your face and you're like, wait a minute, where is that? Oh, did I eat that already? So learning how to sit and be with your food. And again, I love this detox because it really brings you to whole food, real food eating. Whole foods don't have labels on it. They will, rot if they're not eaten within a certain time. So this detox is designed to bring back to more whole food, nutrient-rich, dense food. And nobody wants to imagine themselves having a disease or, hi there, you made it.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's all good. Welcome. Yeah. So nobody wants to imagine themselves having a disease, but the truth of the matter is it's becoming more and more prevalent. And it's all lifestyle, food choice, lifestyle, diet related. So, and also if you are dealing with some kind of autoimmune or disease, this is definitely going to help to bring you to the more whole food, nutrient dense. And sugar is addicting. I just wanted to put this in here. Has anyone seen the studies about sugar versus cocaine and addiction? Sugar is far more addicting than cocaine. And everybody is susceptible of getting addicted to sugar, including myself. We're hardwired for it. We're hardwired to love it because, way back when, the only sweets that we were getting were natural fruits and berries once in a while. And the caloric reward is so high because we can convert that sugar into quick energy that we don't have a shutoff valve. So we are genetically hardwired to be addicted to it. And then and the other thing I wanted to add about the addiction and sugar, really I want you to, and we'll talk about this more later, but just like with anything, with the addiction, and everyone has different levels, I want you guys, promise me right now that you will not go on a sugar binge after this. I'm serious, it's happened. The sugar binge train goes, crash. So just know that it's addicting and that set up yourself some guidelines, maybe get some work with a professional of how to, create the lifestyle you want without having any binges. And healthy is beautiful. I've had, several people, I want to lose this weight or I want to look like this. But the truth is when you're radiating health and vitality, it's beautiful and it catches on and people feel it and they want it. And it's bigger than you. I always see the trickle down. So we're all inspired by each other. So maybe that you're doing this for the inspiration of your kids or your uncle who's suffering from fill in the blank. But just being the inspiration and showing people that, it can be done, and living a healthy lifestyle is the best inspiration for others. I had to dive in a little bit to sugar and what it does to our bodies. Just a little bit into the science on a physiological level. Does anyone remember the term homeostasis? You might have remembered it from middle school biology, but it's where our bodies wants to be at a balanced state. For example, a homeostasis that is crucial for us to keep is our body temperature. So if our body temperature rises up, we get sick, but if it goes too high, we could die, right? And so same if it goes too low. If it goes too low, again, we're in trouble and keeps going, death. So our body temperature is a top homeostasis for us to maintain. And that's same with blood sugar. It is a top homeostasis. And so we have mechanisms in there to help to control our blood sugar so we don't, go into a coma and, get sick and die. And some of the, so imagine you just ate a donut or whatever, and then the blood sugar pops up. That sends a state of alarm to your body. You send it in your brain. It's like, it goes through the cortisol hormone, and it's like state of alarm, our blood sugar's up, we got to get it down. It sends a message to the pancreas, which sends out insulin. Insulin's really good at doing its job. It cleans up all that sugar, stores it away, usually as fat, and then we do that drop in our blood sugar. We feel the low, we feel tired, lethargic, and then we're like, man, I need some more energy. We start the craving for another one of those sugary treats or drinks. And there you go, that's the blood sugar roller coaster. Now, going on that blood sugar roller coaster is stressful for our bodies. Do you also remember the terms like fight or flight or rest and digest, parasympathetic, sympathetic mode? Well, when we're constantly on that roller coaster of blood sugar, we're chronically in that fight or flight. We're not allowing ourselves to rest and digest. And when we don't allow ourselves to rest and digest and our bodies are constantly stressed, then there's the healing, the sex hormones, all these things aren't getting a chance to happen and causes imbalances, which can be, next slide please. So these are just, the umbrella of sugar and blood sugar imbalances. But, you can see there's great fatigue, weight gain, thinning hair, PMS, migraines, skin imbalances. Autoimmune and other diseases are associated with blood sugar imbalances. Now doesn't this look much better? And this is what happens when we regulate. The number one thing that I've heard of people when going through the sugar detox is, wow, I'm amazed how well I sleep. Like first thing, people are just really amazed of how they are able to sleep. But these are just some of the side effects of blood sugar regulation. Okay, so this year, it's a little different. We have 3 different levels, and I was saying earlier, there's no shame in doing whatever level suits you and where you feel comfortable. I want all of you guys to succeed, and we'll talk about the differences, and again, at the end, we're going to do some questions, so please hold on to your questions. I want to answer them. But the first level here is basically we are cutting out all sugar from the diet. And so sugar is sneaky, and it can be in all of sauces, jams, yogurts. Anyone think of any other sneaky ways of sugar?
Mary mentioned yogurt was one.
Yeah, yogurt. Oh, he was mentioning hot dogs. I actually, this is why I put this here, read every label, because I've even found it in a bag of frozen peas. Seriously. So, I mean, sugar is addicting. Remember the previous slides? And the food corporations know this. Every food that is designed that has a label, their purpose is to sell you this food and have you keep buying and buying and buying and buying. So, there's some...
in bottled water.
Yeah, in bottled water.
And I read it and I was like, what?
Yeah. I'm reading...
You have to even read your bottled water.
Yeah, everything that has a label, read it. And it's a good practice to get in, because you know what? Sometimes it has got me. I've gone to, this health food store, and it the package says all the right things, no GMOs, no this, no that. And I'm like, oh yeah, this thing's got it going on. I get home and I'm like, organic high fructose corn syrup? What? Seriously. So really read every label. So none of the sweeteners, no jams, flavored yogurts. Dairy is allowed, but the way to do dairy is full fat. So no skim milk, light milk or whatever, and yogurts that are flavored, they're more processed and they have a higher sugar content. When you take out that natural fat, you have to replace that taste with something, otherwise it would taste like cardboard, and they replace that with sugar. Okay. And no alcohol on this, and because it was asked before, and the reason for this is too, again, this is a 10-day detox, and it's designed to get you the most extreme results. And let's face it, if you have a couple beers, soon enough you might find yourself a fistful of, nachos, and inhibition goes down a little bit with alcohol, and I'm just gonna have this. But again, alcohol is, a poison. And so again, we're trying to rid ourselves of all the stuff that may be, holding on to us and not making us feel the best. Fats and oils, you do want to stay on level 1. All these levels are, you want to stay away from margarine or any oils like from canola or safflower, peanut butters and peanut. I talked about this a little bit before. You want to switch it to almond butter for this or something like that, because the reason for this is peanuts have aflatoxins, which is, it's a mold, and it's the way that they're grown and the way that they're packaged, and people are highly reactive to this. And again, we're trying to eliminate as much toxins as possible for the short 10 days for the extreme results.
Okay, so almond butter is okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just not peanut butter. Almonds are okay. Okay, level 2. Okay, so same as level 1, but this one we're leaving out the carbohydrates, all legumes and grains. And the reason for this is grains contain... Okay, so the reason that we're leaving out grains and legumes are they're notoriously hard to digest. And they contain what's called anti-nutrients. So they contain all these phytic acid. If you think about the seed itself and what it's designed, its natural protection is it does not want to be digested. That's its natural protection. So let's say a deer or whatnot is going around and it's chomping these grains, and some of it is undigested and has a chance to become a plant afterwards still, So basically, these things are fighting your digestion. What we're doing is we're grounding them up, we're processing them. Not only that, but they're super hybridized or GMOs or, sprayed like this, and then we're grinding them up and eating them 5 to 7 times a day in our breakfast snack, lunch snack, dinner, dessert, and so we've really, as a population, worn down a tolerance to these. And So we are avoiding grains and legumes too, because legumes are notoriously hard to digest. Everyone knows the song, beans, beans, a magical fruit. And that's because anything that gives you gas is having a hard time digesting. You're having a hard time digesting it. So if you are doing level 1 and you're eating legumes or beans, I suggest soaking them before, because it removes a lot of those phytic acid and those phytonutrients and those anti-nutrients, which I'm talking about. And again, why we're eliminating these, because we're going towards a whole food, nutrient dense diet. Because when you consume a lot of these anti-nutrients that are, it's filling up the space that you could be eating like more vegetables that have a way higher nutrient content. And with like the legumes and beans, because they are notoriously hard to digest and they have a very low nutrient content, that you're doing all this work to process it. It's like putting in $1 in a coin slot thing and getting a nickel back. So corn and soy are on the no foods, and soy is the number 2. Corn's the number 1 genetically modified. Soy is the number 2, and they're both ultra hybridized. And of course, we all know that corn is. Everyone knows that corn is not easily digestible. Just gotta say. And again, 80% of our immune system is in our gut. They're calling it the second brain. And so, really giving the gut the best chance it has to absorb the most nutrients is gonna give you that energy that you're looking for through that double shot of espresso or whatever. It's gonna be making room for the high nutrient content. Yeah?
How about almonds, like snacking on nuts?
Yeah.
Those?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just not peanuts. Yep.
So cashews, almonds,
Mm-hmm.
walnuts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. And, with nuts too, I would say maybe don't go nuts on nuts. I mean, the first time I did this, I've been doing this for years, right? So nuts are also hard to digest too, but you can soak and dry them. But I mean, if you're just starting out, I don't want to throw, soak and dry your nuts and then, do this. It's like, no, just go for it. And then it's part of the journey of where you want to go afterwards. But but if you notice a hard time with your digestion, then, you might want to back off on the nuts.
Well, that's just what I snack on, so I just wanted to make sure.
Perfect.
I have that.
You got it.
They don't have sugar in them.
Yeah. And again, like I said, we're switching to the higher quality fats. I just want to put a little note of why. Hydrogenated is when they actually take hydrogen and they force it into these vegetable oils so that it makes the molecular structure of a fat. And then they steam it and bleach it and nickel roll it and then put, some sort of dye in it, and it can last on the shelf forever. But the thing is, we rebuild our cell walls with fat. So imagine creating your heart cell walls with this man-made steam bleached nickel rolled fat. So high quality fat is a top priority if you want to go for optimal living. Okay, and level 3 is the original OG here, and that's more restricted, so it's no dairy, so it's the same as the 2, but remember, this is plentiful of meat and vegetables, and here I put you on all 3 levels. You can have 1 to 2 servings of regional kind of seasonal fruit. I believe right now that's like some pears and apples, but this is a great opportunity for you to talk to your produce guy. I'm friends with all of them, and just be like, hey Steve, so what is in season? And this brings you also to a more conscious level of, where's your food coming from? I mean, is it coming from Chile and then ripened with ethanol as it arrives here, or is it something in Washington? So seasonal and local or regional, I mean like Washington, Oregon, California kind of coast, you know. So talk with your produce. And this is a blood sugar regulation detox, so, you know, 1 to 2 small servings. Sometimes if you want to go without it, that's okay too, but it's there for you, need it. If you need like something sweet at the end of the day. Once your taste buds recalibrate, it's amazing that you can find such true sweetness in an apple. I would take a green apple and bake it, and I take a little butter, grass-fed butter, we'll get into that too, with some chopped nuts, and I just take it and I bake it, and a little cinnamon on top, and it is such decadent, yummy dessert. And it's amazing too when you take that bite and you're like, oh my god, and you feel that excitement. You're like, oh wait, should most all fruits be like that? You know, like we've kind of like trained our taste buds not to feel the excitement of something like an apple or a pear or you know, what have you. So it's really, notice that excitement when you feel it. It's pretty cool. And what I was going to say about butter, on level 3, dairy is not allowed except for butter from, you know, preferably grass-fed cows, which Safeway carries Kerrygold, and they have butter from grass-fed cows. And water mandatory, of course, the more the better. And, you know, the other thing that feels really nice as a treat is herbal teas, like non-caffeinated herbal teas really feel like a treat too. All right. So a little bit of tips and tricks, and you guys are going to be getting more. This is a lot of information, I know, but we're going to have everyday emails that's going to give you little tidbits and snippets here and there. But of course, number 1 is do it together. Really feel the camaraderie. I'm going to create a Facebook group. So I'll invite the people that I know, and if you don't see me, be connected. On the bottom of the email, you'll see my Facebook link and stuff like that. And so I'll see you and I'll add you, ask me to add you. And then, of course, get the no food out. What is also great about these 3 levels, let's say not everyone in your household is totally on board, but maybe someone will be on board for level 1. You know, maybe you could get like, you know, the kids and, you know, whoever's in the house, like, well, what if you guys started like this? This is reasonable. You know, can't we just see what 10 days without sugar, you know, feels like? And put the no food away. Put it in a box, tape it up, put it away, because you are way more likely to just impulse eat if you see it there. Always have food with you. When you start to regulate your blood sugar, you'd be amazed how hungry you can start to feel. Your body, because you're denying it that quick, easy sugar source. So it's going to be hungry. So have a lot of the good snacks with you. You know, hard-boiled eggs, olives, marinated artichoke hearts, even make extra dinner and have leftovers for your snacks. I do. Increase healthy fats and proteins. And, you know, some people, they're like, I'm quitting sugar, I'm going to go for all of it. And they go crazy. It's going to make it harder for you starting Monday. So start this weekend from detoxing. Like, try to get as much out as possible. Try to eat as less, and higher protein and fats will help to make you feel satisfied. And sleep well, because your body, again, when you're tired, you crave that quick source of energy, and you'll crave sugar. And drink water. The same mechanism of thirst and hunger are tied to each other, because we get a lot of our water from our food, and so it is confusing. Our body will maybe feel hungry when really we're thirsty. And chew your food. This actually, like I was talking about, going and grabbing things and, like, you know, being in a rush and eating something, and you're like, oh wait, did I eat it? Just being more connected and sitting with your food, putting your fork down in between bites and chewing is a huge difference. I've seen people lose that 10 pounds just by practicing this concept of more conscious eating and putting their fork down, slowing down. Because remember that fight or flight or rest and digest, you can't do it both at the same time. So if you're like still in that fight or flight and eating and going, you're not going to be digesting that meal. And read labels. We talked about this. It's here at the end. Watch out for anything with the os or syrup. That means there's sugar. And you can see sugar right here. It's 25 grams. 4.7 grams is a teaspoon. So I just, kind of rounded to 5. And so that's 5 teaspoons of sugar, but also look at the serving size. So 2/3 of a cup. Let's say this is a box of cereal and it's 2/3 of a cup and 25 grams of sugar. And so that's 5 teaspoons of sugar, but who really eats 2/3 of a cup of cereal? So, then you're like, okay, well, how much do I eat? Do I eat 3 servings? Okay, so that's how many, that's 15 teaspoons of sugar with my orange juice and this and that. So yeah, read labels. Be active. This is a great way to distract yourself. Go on a brisk walk if you're feeling hungry, you're getting the craving. Get out of your mind and do something active. And keep learning. And I'll be sending you guys little snippets here and there of articles and things to read. But this helps to understand and know more about the why. Why am I doing this? Can be extremely helpful.
Well, do we have to commit to our level and stick with that level the whole time, or can we build like 3 days level 1, 3 days level 2, 4 days level 3?
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that. I want everyone to be successful. And so, like I said, there's no like shame in level 1, level 2, level 3, and you can start with level 1 and then like, okay, next year I'm going to do level 2. It's up to you, and I'm totally okay if people want to do like a build up of the 10 days. I will just say, the more extreme the results. So, but I don't want to say that of like, I don't want anybody to also kill themselves with this and not like it and end up in a binge. Because they've deprived themselves too much, and that's why I also had the 1 to 2 pieces of seasonal fruit, so that you guys can learn to actually appreciate and enjoy those pieces of fruit. So, all right, I'm ready. Yep, next. Oh, you did it. Oh, okay. The game. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to did we decide 3 teams? So it's 3 teams with 3 departments, and everyone's going to have 10 marbles, except for you guys are going to have 11 marbles. Everyone gets a bonus marble for joining me today. So, and then we're going to, yeah, that's right. And then everyone gets in, we're called honesty marbles. So if you do the day fully, you get to come in to work and put the marble into the jar. And the team with the highest percentage, due to how many people are in there, wins, and we have prizes for the end. And then the other bonus marble thing is going to be if any of you guys can get somebody new to sign up, you'll get another bonus marble and they'll get a bonus marble. So if you guys can get anybody else to sign up, you'll get another bonus marble and they'll get a bonus marble. And we'll just have the marbles. Is there someone from each department here?
I can get to the convention center in City Hall.
Okay.
And I
You're in convention center?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I've got the 3, and then, everyone can divvy it out, or you guys can put like the jar aside of, where the marbles are, and everyone has their marbles. Any questions with that?
Can we get a list of everybody that's on here so I can stalk them all?
Well, we can all be Facebook friends on and join the group.
So you have 5 people at the police department. It's you and Rich and Stacy and Guy and Lorna.
Can we vote anybody off if we decide?
It's not like Survivor.
They're not, but you can pass through them to put their marbles in.
That's right. Yeah. Detox marbles. Okay, and next slide. There's an itinerary up there too for you guys to grab. So the actual detox is starting on Monday. And again, if somebody wants to join late, that's totally cool too. Just get them aboard. And we will be going, over everyday emails. I'm going to send you guys on Saturday. I'm going to send you a meal plan, a meal prep plan, and tomorrow, hopefully, or Saturday, I'll have the link for the presentation. And let's see here. And then we are going to have Life After Detox workshop and optional potluck. So I'm going to bring something. If you guys, I know you're busy and you'll be at work, but if you feel inspired, go ahead and bring something. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how to sustain a lifestyle. Like, what do you do after this? Like, not binge. And we're also going to go have the prizes. And for everybody, aside from the marble prizes, I'm going to have some prizes that I'm bringing myself, which are going to include some a cooking class, a private cooking class, and massage. So yeah, that will be for everyone included. And we'll celebrate and share experiences.
And we haven't set where the final meeting will be. I'll either probably get the police department or here, so.
Yeah, and I'll email that to you guys. Okay, and then just, again, I wanted to just show a quick little pictures of everyone's like, so what do you eat? And here's a picture of just some fresh, yummy salmon, but it's like salt and pepper, and I just put that because like that with a big salad, done. Pan-sear it and some coconut oil, and you're good. And then these were just biscuits that I made with almond flour. And I mean, something simple like what I do for my lunch, I just wrap, like I do level 3, and I just wrap it in romaine lettuce, a frittata. I call that one, you'll see on my blog, I'll send you life-saving frittata because, talking about the blood sugar swings and getting like so hungry, I ate like that much one day. and making a frittata makes a great snack. And then this is, I call 10-minute curry. It's really, really simple and easy. So there you go. Okay, now any other questions?
Would you, just because the microphone is set on you, maybe repeat the question?
Oh, good idea. Yeah.
Okay, what's for breakfast?
Okay, so what's for breakfast is the question. So are you thinking because you don't eat a lot of eggs?
No, I eat eggs, but I like toast,
Mm-hmm.
two bagels, yogurt, all that.
So I do make a paleo granola in my blog, which is nuts basically, and I'll send you the recipe. And it's kind of chopped up to a granola-like consistency. And you can roll it with like coconut shreds and a little coconut oil and some vanilla, and you bake it, and it makes really good granola.
There's no sugar?
There's no sugar. No.
And coconut's okay, because isn't that tropical?
It's a nut. It's a nut, so it's not the fruit.
Okay.
And yeah, you can get the little shreds, and they're actually they're higher in fat, and they don't have sugar.
I can't have my yogurt.
There actually is. There's a way to make coconut milk yogurt too, and you take a acidophilus pill, which is the probiotic, and you let it sit, and you put it in a jar with coconut milk, and then you put it into the oven. I mean, trust me, I've been doing this for a while. There's all kinds of tricks, and I'll teach you how to research it too. Look up, basically a really good platform to look it up is Paleo, and look up Paleo granola, and you can adapt it even if it has honey or maple syrup. You can look up paleo yogurt, and that yogurt that I was telling you about, it's really simple. So you take the coconut milk and you take the probiotic pill and you break it, and that's all the good stuff that heals your gut anyway, and then you put it in a jar, and then you put it in your oven, and you put the light on, and it makes the oven temperature to 110 or 15, and you keep it there overnight, and it actually grows, and then you put it on your counter for another day, and then you got your yogurt. Yeah, look it up.
Okay.
I've done it. It's good. And then, oh yeah. Any other questions? Like I said, if you do eggs, I make a really big frittata. And I do whatever veggies I have in there. And eventually, too, I mean, your taste buds get so attuned that for me, a very flavorful, yummy dish is just a bunch of vegetables. And I don't need it, like, I just use a little salt. I don't use any other kind of, like, flavorings or seasoning because all the different vegetables have their own different flavors. So I take all that and I mix it with eggs and then I bake it. So you just take all your favorite vegetables and then you put it, and then you mix it with like 6 or 8 eggs. Steam it maybe if they're heartier, like the crucifix, or the cauliflower and the whatever, and then just mix it. But look up paleo frittatas.
And then what, you have that throughout the week? You warm up an egg dish?
Yeah, like for me, actually, I love to have a big frittata made, like on Sunday, so that way, because I like to kind of go. Like I like to do my work until I'm like hungry, then have my breakfast. The other one that
I don't eat that much before I come to work. So I'm not going to cook in the morning before I go.
Yeah, so I would pre-make it. And there's also, look up like certain paleo muffins, too. And you can make like with, the other one that if you're level like 2 is actually I've taken a butternut squash and an apple and I put in some cinnamon and I put it in the crock pot and I took like a cup of almond flour and I put it on the crock pot and I put it on low. Oh, and some coconut milk. I know. And then you put it on low, but it smells so good. In the morning, it's like oatmeal. It's like oatmeal.
You'd be amazed, like once you start eating only these nutrient-rich foods, the amount of food like you actually need to eat goes way, way, way down. Like, and like when you'll find like you're getting like almost nothing out of like a piece of toast. It's like
Well, yeah, it'll make you
filling your stomach, but like nutrition-wise, you're.
Well, that's what I used to eat before Dr. Weeks. Like I said, everyone thought that my diet was going to be, is super healthy by any means, and so did I. Like my regular everyday breakfast before that was I'd have a piece of toast, like the hearty whole grain, whatever, and then a little bit of cream cheese, and then I'd have sprouts and whatever veggies, like red tomatoes and like whatever, and then a fried egg on top, and that's what I'd have. And I ate a lot of stir fries, with mostly vegetables and stuff like that. But, who knows that was like my kryptonite, And it's like, you never know unless, when was the last time you took a break from it? When was the last time I ever did? And that's why it was so huge, when I took a break from it and I was like, oh, wow. I was like, oh, I didn't have ADD. I must have had like some kind of food sensitivity that was making me feel foggy inside. And that's how I knew I was so addicted, or not addicted. I was addicted to the sugar detox because I was like, wow, I want to feel like this, always, because I always felt like I was fighting through some kind of thick of something that I didn't even know. And that's the thing. It's like we've had it all the time, and these things are dairy and gluten are the top 2 disruptors for food sensitivities. For digestion. Sure, yeah, maybe you're all right, but how do you know?
Okay, thanks.
And I'll be sending you a lot more like food and recipes all along the way, and also feel free to reach out. Also, I'll create that group, so post pictures of what you're making, questions, because likely some other people are going to have questions. So it'll be great for everybody to see it and feel connected, because that is the big thing. Any more questions? Yes?
So is like 1 coffee a day, is that where, that's what that's saying there, a coffee?
So the question is it only 1 cup of coffee a day? And the answer is yes, because again, remember we're doing the 10-day detox, and the truth is more than a cup of coffee, it stresses your adrenals. And that's where, you start to feel tapped. It's caffeine and sure, maybe a little bit to get you going, but after that, it's really stressing your adrenals, and we're trying to get rid of all the things that could be causing us the afternoon slump. And the thing is actually this detox is designed to like bring you to possible new layers of you that you didn't even know existed. And that's why I like this, because what if imagine when you were sick, if you've been sick for like a while and you started feeling better and you started appreciating, you're like, oh, hey, everything is great and awesome because I got my health back. What if you were like, at this level of sick that you didn't even know, you started busting through that and you're like, oh, wow, everything is awesome. I feel great. And so, again, there's some things that are like, God, could I really give up, the alcohol for 10 days or, this for 10 days? But, my question is, isn't it worth the chance, just to see what you could feel like?
You mentioned the non-caffeinated teas. Are those okay to have multiple of
Yeah.
in lieu of coffee?
Yeah, because actually, caffeine is a dehydrator, right? It dehydrates you. But the herbal teas, green, I'm not sure. Green and black, I don't know. I think I think black that has caffeine, I would just do like, the cup of it, but green and red and white teas are great. They're actually, you do get the water from it. You do absorb the water. The caffeine you don't, the caffeinated, so yeah. And it's a way to spice up your water too, like if you wanted something different. I mean, one of the biggest health differences that I've seen is just when people start actually drinking more water. 80% of us are dehydrated, and if you think about like in the morning time, instead of first go shuffling over to your coffee maker, what if you just took, and had 2 glasses of water? It's the longest time than you've been without water. When you sleep, you do your repairing, so there's all these, toxins that need to get flushed out from all the repair you've done in that night. Flush that down, and then do a little bit of stretches, and then have your cup of coffee. So yeah. Any more questions?
Sure. We'll email you too if we think of it.
Yeah.
So there's no recipes or anything on here, and would that be like on the Facebook page? Or?
Yeah, so I'm going to be sending you, tomorrow I'll send you the first email, and then Saturday, hopefully Saturday, but yeah, Saturday I'm going to send you a whole meal plan with all the recipes attached. And then every day I'm going to be sending you also like, hey, look at these ideas. Hey, look at these. But yeah, Saturday I'm going to have it like all laid out for you too. And then also on the email, you can stay connected with Facebook. I have a Pinterest, and down below you scroll and you hit my Pinterest page. If you guys have Pinterest, I have a sugar detox board. I'll start pinning more, and you can look at things that I pinned. I also have like a paleo board because that's the style I personally eat at, and you can look at like things that I've been pinning. But the sugar detox, you can look at that. But I will be sending you recipes every day.
Maybe you should talk a little bit about when you can still do this and go out to eat.
Yeah, good point. Thank you. Yeah, I still go out and eat. There are some restaurants that you can't, but you want to think about anything that is sauced has sugar. But for example, I go to the Stand and I get a spicy veggie burrito, no tortilla, no cheese. I add either chicken or beef, and I add guacamole, and it's awesome. And let's see here. I've gone to the Relief Pitcher. I've had their tuna steak taco, no tortilla, no cheese, add extra veg. So the truth, just get the protein, and then instead of the grains and everything, add extra veg. And that's how I do it, how I eat. So, there's unfortunately Thai they have a lot of sugar in their sauces. The curries still do too, a little bit. So there's some restaurants that are like, I'd steer away, look at the restaurant, the menu, plan out like what you can eat. But I mean, like, any of like American style, you can have like a roasted chicken and vegetables with a salad, or I always do 2 servings of vegetables. There's nothing wrong with that.
Guy mentioned when he went through this sugar detox how helpful it was that you also told kind of what to expect.
Oh, good call. Yeah, that slide is missing. Thank you. So yeah, what to expect is hunger. I mentioned that. You can, and because I forgot that slide, I will email that tips and tricks, or not tips and tricks, so what to expect. Hunger, you can experience mood swings because you are going through that blood sugar roller coaster, or some people are like, everything is awesome. You can expect to get, some people experience headaches, joint pain, stiffness. But, wait.
That's just the beginning.
But yeah, it can last 3 to 5 days. I was gonna say, wait, don't stop. That means that your body is doing its job, because like your liver has a break to detox from all the sugar and alcohol and grains that we've been giving it, that it can actually focus on what's in there and what needs to be cycled out. And so even like skin rashes, or, because all the toxins are starting to come out. Let's see here, hunger. What did I mention? Mood swings, and like joint pain, headaches can also be present. So it depends on the people. And you could expect, like some people it lasts for 3 days, for 5 days, and some people don't get it at all. And sugar cravings, of course, yeah. You can expect to go through.
Already right now. I am here.
That's awesome.
Tired of the mood swings.
Yeah.
You have not seen anything. Wait till I cut out my sugar.
Now I have an excuse for it.
Any other questions?
No, do you have any?
I know it's a lot. There's a lot that we went over. And first, I'm going to create the Facebook group. So, try to post questions there. If you don't feel like it, feel free to email me too. Send some pictures of what you're making. It's exciting. I'm going to be doing it with you guys too. I love doing it. And so.
Oh, applesauce.
Yeah, I would not do apple. Well, no sugar added, you mean?
Well,
Maybe if you take 1 small apple and you put it in your crock pot and you let it cook down, because it does concentrate the sugars more the more you cook it. But applesauce is sometimes like what? I mean, how many apples are in that applesauce?
I know, I just made my own.
Mhm. You did? How'd you make it?
You just boil down the apples with a little water
Uh-huh.
and lemon.
Uh-huh.
And lemon and cinnamon.
Uh-huh.
So no sugar.
So it's probably just portion size then.
Yeah. So then I would just make sure that you do really small portion, definitely, because.
And they're my own.
Well, thank you so much, Jennifer.
Ah,
And
thank
be
you.
Sure, we'll
Oh, wait.
make sure every department has the.
And you may have talked on this before I got here, but as far as just like normal seasons in the cabinet or what have you, is most of that going to be fair game as far as seasoning your meats and stuff like that, or is there stuff?
Good question. I would definitely look at everything. A lot of the like cheaper kind of blends, if it says like natural flavors, it's MSG. I mean, because the company's always trying to find a sneaky way. So again, we're trying to limit as many toxins as possible. MSG is a neurotoxin. So, if you find some high quality, there is some high quality blends that you can get. Like I've gotten a couple at the co-op that are good, like an adobe. So that would be fine. But other than that, like the seasonings, as long as it doesn't have sugar, because a lot of those do have sugar, or natural flavors, or like natural colors. Natural colors is not a color. It's
Regular table salts will be fine.
Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, definitely the higher mineral sea salts are better, but Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Oh wait, one more slide. All right.
Yay.
See, okay, we got this together. Really, it does make a difference with all of us. Thank you.